Congratulations! Celebrate Coco Gauff Wuhan champion triumph. First place medal red heart. The evening air of Wuhan was thick with anticipation. The court shimmered beneath the floodlights, the crowd buzzing like an electric current waiting to erupt. In the heart of China's vibrant city, where history and modernity collided, one name echoed through the arena: Coco Gauff. She stood still for a moment, breathing in a roar, her heart sinking with the pulse of the crowd. Her sweat glistened, her racket trembled slightly, and then she smiled. It was over. She had done it. Coco Gauff, the 2025 Wuhan Open champion. As golden confetti poured from above, she looked up toward the night sky. The girl who once chased tennis balls on the Florida courts had just conquered the East. From dream to destiny. Long before the world called her champion, she was just Cory Coco Gauff, a little girl with a big dream, in Delray Beach, Florida, under the relentless sun. Coco's parents, Cory and Candy, watched their daughter grow from playful innocence into fierce determination. Her father, once a college athlete, saw the spark in her eyes early on. Her mother taught her discipline, humility, and the courage to stand tall in defeat. By the age of 8, Coco was already training like a pro. Her dream wasn't merely to win titles. It was to inspire. She once told her dad, "I want to be remembered not just for my trophies, but for what I stand for." And what she stood for would one day move millions. The Wimbledon Awakening. The tennis world first fell in love with Coco in 2019. A 15-year-old teenager stepping onto the grand grass courts of Wimbledon, facing her childhood idol, Venus Williams. The result stunned the planet. Coco defeated Venus in straight sets, and a new era was born. The crowd, commentators, and even Venus herself applauded the rise of something rare, a prodigy with both grace and grit. Her tears after the win weren't from disbelief, but from realization. She belonged here. From that moment, Coco Gauff became not just a player, but a phenomenon. The rise and the roadblocks. But the road to greatness is never straight. The years that followed brought both glory and heartbreak, injuries, criticism, early exits, moments of doubt. There were nights Coco would stare at the ceiling of her hotel room after a loss, wondering if she'd lost her spark. But every time, she rose again. Her father would remind her, "Pressure is privilege, Coco. You only feel it because you're meant for something great." She began to train not just her body, but her mind. Her strength grew quieter, less about power, more about purpose. And by 2025, that purpose was burning brighter than ever. The journey to Wuhan. The Wuhan Open, a battleground of world-class athletes, roaring crowds, and fierce determination. Nestled in the heart of China's tennis renaissance, the 2025 edition was stacked with legends: Aryna Sabalenka, Jessica Pegula, Iga Swiatek, Jasmine Paolini. It wasn't a tournament for the faint-hearted. But when Coco arrived in Wuhan, she carried something unseen, a calm fire. She had recently come off a streak of confidence-building matches. Her footwork was lightning, her return surgical. In press interviews, she smiled easily but spoke like a veteran. "I'm not chasing perfection anymore. I'm chasing growth," she said. Winning takes care of itself when you play from the heart. And from the very first match, she played from the heart and beyond. The early battles. The first round was a message, a statement of intent. Coco dismantled her opponent with ease. 6-2, 6-1. Her serves like thunderclaps, her movement fluid and fearless. The crowd could feel it. There was something special happening here. By the second round, she was already a fan favorite in Wuhan. Chinese fans began holding banners that read, "Coco Energy High Voltage, America's Spirit, Wuhan's Heart." As the rounds went on, she continued to dazzle, mixing finesse with ferocity. 6-3, 6-0, 6-2, 6-4. Every victory felt inevitable, yet electrifying. Her rhythm was unstoppable, her joy contagious. The semi-final spectacle. Then came the semi-final. Coco Gauff versus Jasmine Paolini. Two warriors, one court, and a sea of roaring fans. Paolini, known for her speed and tactical precision, pushed Coco to her limits. But Coco played with emotion sculpted by experience. Not a wild flame, but controlled fire. Her forehand was poetry in motion. Her footwork, effortless. And when the final point was struck, Coco sealed the win with a backhand winner that sent the crowd into a frenzy. 6-4, 6-3. Into the final she went, with a calm smile and a heart ready for battle. "I'm one match away from something beautiful," she whispered as she walked off court. The final. 2 Americans, 1 crown. The final day. Wuhan pulsed with energy. An all-American clash. Coco Gauff versus Jessica Pegula. Mentor and friend, power versus precision. The crowd's cheers echoed across continents. Even back in the U.S., millions tuned in. Young girls clutching tennis rackets. Fans holding their breath. Legends watching history unfold. The first set was warfare disguised as elegance. Rallies stretched past 20 shots. Pegula tested Coco's patience, but Coco's resilience was unbreakable. At 4-4, Coco unleashed a series of winners so fierce they felt supernatural. Moments later, she clinched the first set 6-4. Pegula fought hard in the second, using experience and strategy. But Coco, brimming with confidence, found another gear. She attacked, adapted, and astonished. At match point, she tossed the ball high, served down the tee, ace. Game, set, match, champion. The crowd erupted into chaos, a symphony of disbelief and delight. Coco dropped her racket, fell to her knees, and covered her face. Tears streamed down. The journey, every sacrifice, every doubt, had led to this. She was the Wuhan champion. The champion's glow. The stadium lights dimmed as golden confetti rained from the rafters. The trophy, gleaming like sunlight, was handed to Coco. She raised it high, her smile radiant. "Ladies and gentlemen," the announcer thundered, "your 2025 Wuhan Open champion, Coco Gauff." The crowd roared so loud the arena shook. Fans waved flags, held posters, screamed her name until voices broke. Even Pegula, in defeat, embraced Coco warmly and whispered, "You earned every bit of this." Epilogue. The heart of a champion. As the sun rose over Wuhan skyline, the trophy glimmered on Coco's bedside table. She was already thinking of the next tournament, the next challenge. But before leaving, she took one last look at the city below and whispered, "Thank you, Wuhan. You made me believe again." And somewhere in that whisper, you could hear the echo of a truth larger than sport. That victory isn't just about lifting a trophy. It's about lifting your spirit and showing the world what belief looks like when it takes form. Final words. The Queen of Tomorrow. Coco Gauff's Wuhan triumph wasn't just a victory. It was a rebirth. A young woman who turned pressure into poetry, doubt into drive, and potential into power. From Florida's courts to the bright lights of China, she carried a message to millions. You can fall. You can fail. But if you keep believing, you will rise higher than ever before. So today, we celebrate not just a champion, but a story. The story of Coco Gauff, the Wuhan warrior, the Queen of Heart, an embodiment of greatness in motion. Red Heart Trophy Tennis. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.